My name is Koehler, Technical Agronomist with DEKALB Asgrow, covering South Central Minnesota. Today is August 9th, and I was going to visit with you about corn rootworm, what we're seeing this year, how we manage corn rootworm with our SmartStax technology, and talk a little bit about SmartStax Pro, which is our new technology with 3 modes of action that we're going to be bringing in 2022. So this year, corn rootworm populations seem to be elevated. When I'm looking at my corn rootworm sticky traps, I'm mostly seeing westerns, which is predominantly the one that is the pest in corn on corn. We're starting to see a little bit more northerns this year as well on our sticky traps. In the past, they've historically been, an issue in rotated ground, and that's why we use traits in corn soybean rotation, because the northern corn rootworm, which is the green pest right here, the green corn rootworm beetle, can lay dormant in soybeans, and which we call extended diapause. And when you go back to first year corn following soybeans, they hatch, feed on the roots, and we got problems, right? So that's why we started using traits to manage corn rootworm in corn soybean rotation. But predominantly what is the issue right now is the western corn rootworm, which was the blacker one with the yellow stripes. And so I've been checking my traps, and we got anywhere of 50 to 100 beetles in a week's period. Now that isn't everywhere. I would say that where I'm seeing those issues are where I'd expect it. Long-term continuous corn, or where we have trap crop scenarios. So a trap crop scenario is a scenario where maybe a field is a later maturity compared to fields in the surrounding area, and the beetles all migrate to that field to feed on the later silks, the corn plants that are silken later. And then they end up there and they lay their eggs there, and populations increase dramatically, even in 1-2 years time. Another trap crop scenario could be, lower areas of fields, typically wetter spots, drowned out spots that either get replanted or just slow to emerge. They will be later silken. The beetles in that field will migrate to that area, feed on the silks, lay their eggs, and now that area, the populations have really increased. And so that's what we call trap crop scenarios, and that's where I am seeing issues this year. Now we've had 2 years that have just been really favorable for the survival of corn rootworms. The winters haven't been hard on the population, and June has been dry, and so we've had good hatch, and we got a lot of beetles feeding in these fields. And so to manage the western corn rootworm, the black one, and corn on corn, historically, we've used a good soil applied insecticide before traits. But then when we develop traits such as our SmartStax technology with 2 modes of action below ground, we were able to use SmartStax as the main management practice. But what's key is that we have to also use rotation to soybeans, because the western corn rootworm doesn't lay dormant, it doesn't have an extended diapause. So when you go to soybeans, those larvae will hatch, and if you control the volunteer corn in the field, there's nothing for them to eat, and then they'll starve to death. So essentially you can wipe the slate population clean with 1 year of soybeans when we're managing western corn rootworm. And so the only thing with the insect, it's just like any other pest, or the corn rootworm, just like any other pest. If you do the same management practice year after year after year, they're eventually going to adapt. And so with these high populations and using the same trait, we're starting to see some of these corn rootworm adapting. So it's essential that we stay 1 step ahead of them and come up with new technologies. And that's what we've done at Bayer. We've come up with SmartStax Pro. And what SmartStax Pro is it's SmartStax. We take the 2 BT modes of action from SmartStax, and we add an additional RNAi tech mode of action. So we got 3 modes of action. RNAi is completely different than anything you get from a soil applied insecticide or a BT protein. And so this is going to really make the trait much more durable. And when we think about farmers needing to grow corn on corn and be sustainable in the future, it's just going to be key. And so the one thing I would say is this is still not a silver bullet. It's just another great tool to manage corn rootworm. We still need to, use rotation in our corn on corn at least probably once every 3 to 5 years to help manage that population. And so SmartStax Pro we will be introducing next year in 2022, just on a trial basis. So SmartStax is still going to be our main trait with the 2 modes of action, probably for another year or 2. And we have some excellent products in SmartStax. You know, some of my favorite products, DKC 5665, DKC 5981, DKC 5218. That's 102, 106, and 109 day very stable products with excellent disease packages that we really recommend corn on corn. So we got a solid lineup in the DEKALB lineup with corn on corn products with SmartStax, and then we get to take a look at SmartStax Pro for 2022 to help out our farmers with long-term continuous corn. So we're really excited about that technology. Make sure you ask your DEKALB and Asgrow seed dealer, your field sales representative, or your technical agronomist if you have any questions. If you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to the Minnesota DEKALB Asgrow East YouTube channel. And thank you and have a good day.